So the question that I would ask is, why do so many people feel dissatisfied with where they are now? Why does it not feel like enough? Why do we tend to focus on the things that we think haven't shown up yet? And that is, I think, always an interesting question. And maybe we'll even open up the floor of, are there any answers that anybody wants to offer? Like, why does it feel as if we're so dissatisfied with now? Feel free to just unmute yourself, free for all.
It comes from a lack of feeling satisfied within the self.
I'm writing that down.
So no, if you're not happy with your external world, odds are you're not completely happy with your internal world. So start within and then go with it.
Interesting perspective. Anyone else want to share anything? In addition to?
Definitely the fear of not being good enough. I find that one comes up a lot. Or comparison. Oh my goodness, comparison. Looking around at what's going on for people around you and then comparing yourself to them.
They'll bring up imposter syndrome.
Yes. Marina?
I am so agree. It's all very bad. Yes, basically judging yourself constantly. It's like, come on, just give me the break already. It's like I'm tired of you being constantly like beat myself up.
And was the question why we look at what we don't have more than what we do have?
The question was, why do we so often feel dissatisfied with what we have now?
Ah, gotcha. Okay. Well, I was thinking when I had the other little twist on the question, I was thinking where I, anyways, am trained at looking at the problem and trying to fix it. As opposed to looking at and being satisfied with what we have, knowing that having that satisfaction is what brings more of what we want. So that was, so never mind.
Well, no, I think all of that was very relevant.
That's valid, Betsy.
See, absolutely. Thank you. So I find it interesting though, because thank you for that. And my take is so much nicer to ourselves. My belief and understanding is we are often dissatisfied with where we are now because we have such a thirst and desire to have more, to explore more. And at one point, where we are now is what we wanted. It might not look exactly like what we pictured, but it's probably some version of it. And yet now that we're at this, whatever point it is, we already are looking ahead because we want to explore more. We want to experience more. And no matter how good we think it is, even if we made a list and these are all the things that we wanted most in life, what would it feel like when you had all of those? Would you say, okay, done. Don't need or want anything else ever? Hell no. Of course not. We would keep wanting more. We would find little things about, okay, well, I've got the car but I want a second car and I want the bigger car and I want a cottage. Well, I want a cottage by the lake and I want to have, a place by the ocean. Like we're always going to keep expanding what we want to experience and bring into our realm. So I appreciate all of your answers because everyone had such resonance with it. But what if we took even one step back and said that there is no problem to fix? There is no need to judge. We are where we are because we always are meant to be seeking and looking ahead to something new. And if that were true, could it be okay with where we are right now, knowing that this is not the forever? We're not where we were a year ago. Even if some elements might look the same, we have shifted and changed and grown and had new experiences. And maybe some of those experiences all said, I don't like this aspect about my current reality. And I know even more strongly than ever that I want something different. How amazing is that? How much value was that? So very interesting. I'm so excited with how the angle of that went. It wasn't a trick question. And yet it all, I think, worked out really well because it gives us such a big picture. And I think it highlights that that is so often where our mind goes of what's broken and how am I supposed to fix it? And if I haven't got it yet, it's because I must not be worthy of having it, or I must not be skilled enough to fix it. And I have to go look outside of myself for more tools because I must need to get more tools to fix, which is partly why I took all those things this January, because I wanted to get more perspectives. And even those things that I think, how come those haven't shown up yet? Well, yeah, I didn't get answers from anybody, but I did enjoy the experience of hearing what they had to say and getting new perspectives on what's possible and even how does it morph and change what I was thinking that I wanted. And how can I focus differently? And knowing what I do know as universal truth is when I am not focused on that thing that's not there, when I'm focused on feeling happy and content and satisfied, that's when all the juicy stuff seems to flow in. And then it seems like such a surprise, like, oh my gosh, I couldn't believe that that actually happened, or whatever. And of course, we know exactly why it happened. But then sometimes we forget again. And we focus on those things that are broken and we haven't gotten back yet. So one of the Mike Dooley quotes that he was talking about today, one of those notes from the universe that he does is, happiness doesn't mean that you're necessarily satisfied with everything and don't want anything else. It means that you're signaling to the universe that you're ready for more. I liked that. It's like, it's true. It's kind of like, I am good, so more can flow in. I'm ready to experience more. And then some of my own personal experiences is sometimes I have the sense that the universe keeps bringing me things that maybe I don't want because, they think I like the challenge. And that was something once when I tuned in, that was the message I got was, we thought you really liked it. You feel such a sense of accomplishment when you overcome all that really hard stuff. Of course, we brought you more. Like, you felt so good. And so I said, okay, thanks. I think I'm done with that. Let's try the easy road. And, a lot of things have flown, come into my life that have felt much easier. So that's my perspective on that. For our activity today, which maybe I should jump into to make sure that I don't talk so much that we don't get a chance to even do it. It's helpful if you have some paper or some kind of note-taking device available. And I would love to do a brief guided meditation just to allow ourselves to envision, because the activity is to create within yourself that visualization. And to be open to not judge, to simply see what is. And that sometimes can be a challenge for us. But for today, it's actually going to be really easy. So if you are in a place where you can close your eyes, I would invite you to just get comfortable and close your eyes. And I'm just going to mute everyone. And allowing yourself to take a deep breath and blow it out. Feel yourself held securely within your seat. Maybe you're still lying in bed. And allow yourself to be present. Allowing your thoughts to slow down. Allow everything to soften. And perhaps imagining that ball of energy that is so often held in our head with our very busy minds, allow that ball to start to sink down. And with each breath, as you blow out that air, allow that ball to continue to sink, moving down from your head, down towards your heart. Maybe it wants to continue to go further, perhaps down to your solar plexus, or lower still. You get to feel as your thoughts quiet and that energy that I equate with our higher self or our inner being. Allow it to settle down where there's nothing to do. Even envisioning that space that's there, that energy, and allowing your thoughts to quiet and rest. And as you allow yourself to be in this place with such ease and calm, imagine that you walk into the lobby of a beautiful hotel. Perhaps a luxury hotel that you've been to or one you've seen, or maybe you just create it from your imagination. And walking into this hotel lobby feels so beautiful. And imagine going into the elevator. Everything smells good. All the nice touches, the lighting is so good. And the doors close and the elevator starts to rise. And as the elevator stops and the doors open, allow yourself to walk out into the hallway, the beautiful carpet and decorations, and see the doors that extend down the hallway. And notice that there are titles on these doors. And as you walk up to one, notice that it has a sign that says present. And allow yourself to imagine turning the knob and opening the door and stepping into the room. You can close the door if you want or not, whatever feels comfortable for you. But allow yourself, as you are in this room called present, allow yourself to look around and just notice what you see. There's no judgment. There's no need to process anything. Simply observe and notice. What do you see in this room? Maybe you notice some people or animals. Maybe there are pictures on the walls of all the favorite activities that you like to do. Maybe there are TikTok reels showing all the fun things that you do. You get to imagine, how does this present show up for you in this visualization? Just noticing those people or activities, areas that you focus on. Maybe it's your job, your hobbies. Also notice the feelings that you associate with everything in this room. Allow yourself to mentally reach out to each one and feel some of that joy or fun. Maybe some of it is impatience or anger or frustration. Don't attach to any of them. Just dip in and notice. Let yourself examine every corner of the room, taking almost an inventory in your mind of all of these pieces of the puzzle that make up your present. And when you feel that you've allowed not only your gaze, but your emotional thermometer to touch on everything in that room, allow yourself to come back to your body. Again, no judgment. We are staying in this beautiful higher self perspective. But allow yourself to have your pen and paper ready. And you can open your eyes and just jot down those elements that you saw in your room called present. I'm going to give you about 3 to 5 minutes. You can maybe give me a thumbs up when you're done. Whatever feels good for you, just jotting down. What are all of these elements that you call present? All right, so we took about 5 minutes there. And does anyone want to share, or do you prefer to keep it on your own? It's completely up to you. And if you want, actually, I'm going to pause the recording. So if you share, it's not even recorded. How's that? All right, so we have shared some of our visualizations that came when we opened that door, looking at the present situation that we have in our current existence. And I would love to, I'm not even sure how to guide it because I haven't done this kind of thing before, but I'm just going to do it this way. And if it doesn't work for you, you're always free to do whatever you want. But I would invite you to close your eyes again and take a few deep breaths, and all that thinking, processing that was invoked as we had a conversation, just allow those thoughts to slow down again. And with each exhale, allowing those thoughts to quiet. And if you do imagine your consciousness as that ball of energy, as I sometimes do, and so often busy in our head, allow yourself to feel it drop down. And with each exhale, feel that consciousness sinking down as you go from your head down to your heart, maybe even down a bit further to your solar plexus. Maybe it keeps going down. You get to decide where it feels best. It's a place that feels easy as your thoughts calm, and just move off to the side and take a break. And as we are tuning into this higher self, this inner being, source energy, this aspect of you that loves to play and have fun, allow yourself to imagine you are back in that hotel. And for those, the benefit of people who joined, I'm going to invite you to imagine stepping back into that elevator. And imagining that that elevator travels up. And at the perfect moment, you imagine that it stops. Maybe you hear the nice bing and the door is open. And you get to step out into that corridor. And again, you see a hallway full of doors. And you notice that on one of those doors is a sign that says future. And you get to reach down and turn the knob and open this door. And as you open the door marked future and step into the room, allow yourself to be fully and completely in that room, looking around and noticing all of the desires that you have been putting out on your path to be experienced someday in the future. And I want you to notice that everything in this room, it's already there in the form you were seeking, or maybe even better. And allow your gaze to go around the room. Notice the people, if any animals. Again, you get to decide, are there pictures of places you've traveled on the walls? You in front of the Eiffel Tower? Is there a home, a car? Allow yourself to see the tangible objects, as well as notice the emotions. How do you feel as your gaze goes around the room, lightly touching on each item? See everything that is here for you. It's already done. You asked and it has been given. It's right here. Now, based on our conversation before, maybe this time you're seeing it in more detail. Possibly there's still just an energy or an emotion, or maybe you're seeing a big list. That whole vision board you've ever had right here, right now in form. And whenever it feels as if you've examined everything in the room, feel free to look in any drawers behind the curtain, see what is all there for you. Allow yourself to open your eyes and, with no judgment, simply free writing, write down what you noticed. Any objects, any feelings. What was there for you? What is there for you? And if you're not in a place to come off your mic, absolutely feel free to put it in the chat. Okay, so everyone else has shared. I'll maybe share mine for the recording just in case people were doing it alongside. in my room, I had a sense, it was more of a sense, which is interesting because I was guiding, like, do you see pictures on the wall or do you see videos? I didn't have any of that. I just more had like a sense of things that were almost like little pockets, little vortexes of timelines, whatever you want to call it. So I had a sense of heat and tropical destinations, ocean, palm trees, sand, that kind of vision. Like I could picture walking into the room and the big balcony overlooking the ocean. I was feeling the essence of like in-person retreats that I'm running, maybe in these tropical locations, I don't know. But it felt like a lot of fun knowing that all these people were there and we were sharing things and creating all this energy together. I had a sense of a lot of family experiences. So trips, maybe vacations, but it felt as if, you know, my whole family, so parents and children and their partners were all doing things together in these big over the top ways, like all going to Hawaii or something, weddings, whatever it is. I felt into that there are tours and cultural experiences, which was completely out of the blue for me. I didn't know that was something I was even thinking about. But in my head, I could picture like, oh, how much fun would it be to start taking cooking classes when I travel, or to go and take other types of courses or classes to see about that area. So that felt really fun. I also shared Betsy's lots of laughter. I could almost picture going to live comedy shows and just laughing my head off at whatever it was, which again, it's never really occurred to me to look for tickets to a comedy show. So that felt like a lot of fun. And because I had mentioned the bank account and the other one, I think almost as the afterthought, I thought, oh, should I look to see if there's any money aspect? And I just like felt the flow of it, like lots of money coming in, lots of money going out. And it just felt like a really nice balanced flow. So no actual numbers on a bank account, but it had that essence of just lots of abundance, and but like so much that you don't need to think about it. It's like this non-issue, which felt really good. Of yeah, why would I even think about it? There's always more than enough to do what we want, and you know, just keep that flow going. So that was interesting. That was interesting. So for the emotions, I think there was a lot of fun and laughter and love, a lot of fulfillment. It felt really exciting to be leading retreats and having coaching groups, but there was also that essence of just how incredibly satisfying that felt, of just, oh my gosh, people are going to pay me to do this when I'm just having fun and playing so much and playing with the energies of the world. So that felt really good. Felt really good. Okay, let me just make sure I didn't miss any other chats. Perfect. Okay, so this is now our third and final stop. I'd like to get your feedback. Do you want to try to do that visualization again, or do you want to do it as more of a processing? Because what we are going to do is we are going to imagine the simplest or most outrageous things that we could do to go from one, our present, to that future. Do you want to actually try to close your eyes and go in, or do you think, no, I'm good and I can just rewrite? You can shout out.
I'm good with the meditation, but I'm open to either approach.
Okay, we got a vote for a meditation. Thumbs up, thumbs down, don't care. Okay, I'm going to guide it. And if you're not into it, you can just go get a cup of tea or something. You can check your email. I hope you don't do that. All right. So allowing yourself to close your eyes, taking a deep breath, exhaling it fully and completely, taking another deep breath, and letting it out, allowing your busy mind to take a step back, knowing that nothing is needed in this moment. Taking another deep breath. Each time you exhale, allow yourself to imagine that energy of consciousness that is you, always called upon to be so busy in our mind. Allow yourself to see it disconnecting from your head and dropping down. With each breath and exhale, you can see it dropping down some more and down, going from your head to your heart, allowing for that energy to rest here if this is where it feels best for you. Perhaps imagining that it's going down further to your solar plexus, maybe even further still. Allowing it to stop in the exact place that feels best for you. Knowing that that consciousness of energy representing your source, your higher self, that inner being part of you that holds no judgment, where all experiences can be felt and welcomed, and all emotions are simple guidance. Allowing yourself to take those deep breaths and exhaling each time so fully and completely. And imagining that you are on that elevator, feeling the doors close so smoothly and quietly, and having that elevator move up in this beautiful hotel. And then feeling how it comes to a stop and those doors so quietly open. And stepping out of the elevator, noticing that you are in the hallway, the corridor, this beautiful hotel. Only this time, perhaps notice that you have stepped in to the penthouse suite. Maybe that hallway is very short indeed, because now you're in a beautiful, brightly lit room full of windows. But also, there are 2 rooms that have doors. And as you stand in the middle of that large room, you look over to the left and you notice that there's a door that says present. And as you look over to the right, you notice that there is a door marked future. And allow yourself to notice as you stand in the middle of this space that the doors to each of those rooms opens wide. Feel how each door opens and you can either walk to each room or simply sense into each room. You can see what's in each one. Maybe some new things have popped into the one marked present. Maybe new feelings or experiences have already started to fill into the one marked future. But allow yourself to feel into what each one feels like. It's all about the feelings in this moment. Feel the energy of your present room and feel into the energy of the future and notice if they feel different. Notice those objects in the room, any people, but most importantly, notice the energy of the feelings. Making sure to check in with the present room. Just taking a bit of a taste test, to quote Gina Mallison. Just taste the air. What is this one like? Where is this my now? What is that about? And as you dip into that one marked future, feeling those feelings that are there, maybe hearing those sounds, taking that taste test of it. This is what the future is. And then allowing yourself to walk back out into that center room, that beautiful big center room between the two. And I want you to look around the room. Allow yourself to notice what is in this room. This beautiful big room that is between that present and the future. And maybe you start to notice what is here. Is there the idea of something like I experienced? Or maybe you notice checklists with things checked off, or maybe pictures on the walls, or movies playing. Feel into what you can sense in this room that guides you, that are the actual stepping stones that you take to get from that present room all the way over to that future room. Maybe you can even imagine stepping stones on the floor and how each one maybe has a label on it. And feel the ease of each one as you can step from one to the other. And notice how you get to place those stepping stones. There might be a gap between some, or maybe they're right up next to each other. And notice the ease that there is to cross this path that you've created. Notice the feelings as you step on each one. Notice what it feels like. Where are you at in the room as you walk closer and closer to that future room? What are the feelings? Allow yourself not to rush, taking note of every corner, every stone, any words or images that are there for you. And whenever you feel as if you have the big picture and all the details, allow yourself to come back into your body enough that you can write down some of what you saw. Again, no judgment and automatic writing, simply pen to paper and allow yourself to write. Whether it was an object, a person, a place. But don't forget about those feelings. Let's remember, what does it feel like? As you go through the list of what you saw and the feelings, I want to go back to that question that I mentioned earlier. If you ask yourself, in fact, ask your higher self this question, what's the simplest or most outrageous thing I could do today to move towards my vision? The simplest or most outrageous thing. And you can make it more than one. I'm not going to limit you. So in order to achieve any of those things that was making up that stepping stone path, what's the simplest or most outrageous thing that you could do to put some of those into action today or soon? I'm going to share mine. And so you all have been inspiring me as well. So what I felt in the center section was play was the biggest one. Like the word play seemed to be everywhere, or fun pictures, really colorful, bright, fun pictures of just like play, be lighthearted, play with others, laugh. It just felt really light. And that was fun. I got the idea of like moving my body more. I could picture like more yoga or hiking, something with a bit more of exertion than just walking, which I think is great. I enjoy that kind of thing. I haven't been seeking opportunities to do it. So it feels like that's just part of what's on that path, being really fit and active and agile. And it felt like little steps of almost like a to-do list was being presented to me. It's like, hey, whenever you get somewhere new, look at the local events, see what's going on, like make it the first thing that you do, because there's always a calendar somewhere. And there might just be fun things to go do. Go to concerts, listen to funny podcasts, just things throughout the day that feel lighthearted. I try to listen to music sometimes. Okay, this is not a positive thing, but they have a Alexa or whatever here. And so I like, play a dance music, play this, like play an uplifting. No, they're all horrible song lists. So I think even just now, this is coming to me. I'm going to create some playlists that have music that do match the fun vibe that I want, because just asking someone else's plaything to do it is not working for me. It's always really depressing music. So I was like, what? So I'm going to create a playlist that feels fun and upbeat. Selena, I think you have a couple. I might just dip into that messenger chat and see what you would put there, because I guarantee you probably have some really good feel good, happy playlists. For my activities, I was thinking I could ask my kids what would be fun for them, just to get some seeds of ideas of, hey, if we were to do something together, what would be super fun? And don't to worry about the hows or anything, just what would be fun. I was looking up tickets for the symphony yesterday and I didn't buy any. You know what stopped me? There were so many empty seats. I just thought, maybe it's going to be canceled, or maybe it won't be any good. Or why would I get them when there's so many good seats? There's probably something wrong. Like, are you kidding me? I should just get the tickets. It was for even an afternoon show, which is perfect. So I might get the tickets for that. I have a big list of people who are interested in doing retreats or planning retreats. And I have had it on my to-do list to email to start getting ideas of seeing if people maybe want to plan something with me. I could do that. That feels a bit outrageous to me, but it is simple. And scheduling another free call like this for February feels like a really simple way of just getting it out on the calendar ahead enough that people could plan to come, or I could plan something fun for us to do, and just know that there is going to be that opportunity to play with people feels really good for me. So instead of waiting until a few days before, why not look ahead for it? And I do know people who would like to come, they just didn't have enough notice. So that feels really simple of get on the calendar a little bit sooner. So those all were probably a bit too simple as opposed to outrageous, but emailing a bunch of people I don't know feels kind of scary to me, but I'm going to do it anyway. Also an introvert here. So it's an easy step that I can choose to take. And I'm sure there are a lot more outrageous things that I could do, but why that question can often be good is when you reach for outrageous, you're not worried about the hows and all the details, because it might be outrageous, but you allow yourself just to go there. And maybe that is more like a source insight, like, well, this could happen. Even if your brain goes, well, I don't know, it probably couldn't. We all know that it can. We all actually know that those crazy things can happen if we're open to it and if we allow it. So that was my list. So thank you. The one thing I was going to say as well about the hows, in fact, we had very little talk about anyone getting bogged down in the details of that's not very practical, or I don't know how that would happen. But I do think that, everyone on this call here is familiar with Abraham Hicks, and there's no question that we do understand at some level that the how is none of our business. Even though sometimes we get bogged down by needing to know the hows and the whens and all the action steps that we think we should be taking, we all actually do know that there is no need for us to consider that we know everything, that somehow we know more than source energy, that somehow we have more resources available to us than the universe. So since we know that those are not true, we can choose to actually pass over any questions, doubts, fears, any limiting beliefs. We could actually just pass that over to our source, our inner being. Whatever word we want to use, it doesn't matter. It's all our higher power can take that desire and run with it and deliver that or something better right into our open hands. I like that. I like knowing that. I do. Sometimes people say, yeah, but I did that and it still didn't show up. So I'm looking around and I don't see it. So clearly it's not here yet. And what I say to that person is, well, maybe you didn't actually release all of those doubts and fears about it. Maybe you still are holding really tightly with both hands to the idea that you're supposed to make it happen or that it's supposed to show up in a certain time frame. And I can acknowledge that that's true. That is exactly what I do. And so in case any of you have ever had that, I do think that one of the best things that we can do for ourselves is allow the desire and then allow it to go, like just release it. And I've been a part of some really interesting conversations where people say, well, I don't want to give up on my dreams. But that is not what releasing desire means. Releasing a desire is releasing your attachment to what the actual outcome is at the exact time, the exact place, the exact color, the exact person, whatever the details may be, those attributes of what you want, releasing the need for it to be that exact thing and allow it to be what will deliver to you the feelings that you want. Because for me, it always comes down to the feelings. So if you want to feel love or fun or satisfied or anything, the universe can deliver exactly what you need and more to evoke those feelings. And we don't have to control it. And this is a paraphrase from Gina Mallison. And she said something along the lines of, releasing a desire does not mean that you give up on it. It means you give up the need to figure out how to make it happen and when you will see it. Releasing the resistance you may have to how hard it may be or how long it will take means you can focus on what is in front of you. Appreciating the moment, finding joy and satisfaction with what is. Focusing on these good feelings and being in this place of allowing creates an environment where your desire can show up. So Abraham says that kind of thing every single time that anybody asks them a question. And yet I think it's always good for us to have a reminder. And sometimes when you think, well, but nothing around me is satisfying, then I call BS. Because there is always something that you can appreciate. It doesn't matter what the situation is. There is always something that you can find joy, happiness, appreciation. Even if there's some big scary thing out there as well, it's okay. There is still something in your life that is creating joy, happiness, appreciation. And it can be a small thing or a big thing, but there's probably a whole bunch of them when you do start to acknowledge that. Just open your awareness to it. So that's fun. Because when we do focus on those things, I do believe that we can draw in all the other desires that we have. And as we focus on that and not the lack of those other things, or when is it showing up, it all just backfills and it all shows up. So it's pretty fun, that aspect of it. And, oh, an analogy that I gave to someone the other day, and maybe this resonates, but I'm being guided to share it, is when you order a pizza, you place your order. It's actually usually on an app these days, but you order your pizza, and then you're done ordering the pizza. And then you think, all right, they're supposed to be here in about 20 minutes. What can I do that makes my experience even better to enjoy my pizza? Well, I know I want to get some comfy clothes on, and I know I might want to have a fun drink to have with my pizza. Something bubbly is always fun with pizza. Maybe I want to find a movie on the TV, get that all queued up, ready to go, because as soon as the pizza comes, I want to sit down and start watching the movie, because I don't want the pizza to get cold, because there's nothing better than that first bite of hot pizza. Get a cozy blanket, figure out where I'm going to sit, get everything queued up and ready to go. And knowing that you are creating such a satisfying, enjoyable experience for yourself, enjoying the fact that you have those comfy sweatpants and the cozy socks and everything that you're putting on, and you feel so cozy in it, and maybe turning off some lights so it feels like a beautiful environment. And as you're doing all of those things, not for 1 second are you thinking the pizza's not showing up. You know the pizza's coming, it's on its way. And while you're waiting for the pizza to come, you're creating this amazing environment that feels so satisfying and good, because now you got those cozy fuzzy socks on, and you got your favorite throw ready to go on your most comfortable chair, and you've got that movie you've been wanting to watch queued up. It is like ready, and you are enjoying each of these moments, appreciating the space that you have to create and watch this movie with your pizza. And then the doorbell rings and your pizza shows up, and you get to just keep enjoying that moment. So if there's something that you are wanting, just place the order and let it go. Enjoy getting cozy. Whatever you want to queue up, and enjoy that moment and those feelings, knowing that the pizza's coming. And then after the pizza, there's still going to be more. You're still going to want something else. You're going to wake up tomorrow. You're probably going to want breakfast. It's never ending, which is how we started our conversation, that our desires are never ending. There's always going to be something more. And if at some point we happen to notice that that thing that we thought we've been wanting for a long time hasn't shown up yet, we don't have to jump at, looking at how we're not good enough, finding the problem so we can fix it, comparing ourselves to others, jumping on imposter syndrome and judging ourselves. No, we just go, oh, goody, there's more coming always. Where am I at right now? What feels good and fun today? Where's that conga music anyway? Just have some fun, enjoy. Is there anything that anybody wants to share? So I stop talking.
This was very helpful. Thank you for doing it.
You're welcome.
Very helpful and very fun. And you know me, I'm all about the fun. So thank you very much. Enjoy.
That felt very soothing. That felt so soothing.
Yes, thank you so much, Sheila. It was really very pleasant, kind of like said, it's a morning for me, so it's kind of great day. I mean, great start for the day, and just kind of get inspired and just have like a simple steps and kind of guidance. What feels good and fun? What feels good and fun today?
I love that. That's it exactly, right? What's good and fun. And make sure if you do organize your cupboards and everything, Marina, take before and after pictures. It's so satisfying to see the before and after pictures.
Okay, I will. Now you get me inspired.
Yes, as long as it's fun, as long as it feels fun. Oh, all right. Well, thank you. Is there anything anybody else wants to share about any topic at all? Or does that feel complete?
This was awesome. Thank you so much, Sheila. I have a question because I was getting ready and I wondered, is there going to be a replay available so I can do it when I'm just not doing other activities?
Of course, yes. I'll happily get that edited, mainly just because we were chit-chatting in the beginning, and get that sent out.
Lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
It was, I still feel so uplifted, even with not, I think I only sat down for one meditation, but I really feel good. I've got goosebumps.
Well, that's the highest compliment. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, before we say goodbye, I would love to just do a shout out to some of my inspiration, the people of my inspiration. So again, Jules Fraser Ellis leads an exercise that is in no way, shape, or form similar to this. It is so much better and powerful. And her email, if anybody ever wants to ask her for information, is Jules, Jules, at Fraser, Fraser, Ellis is ELLIS, that's all one word, .com. And I think how awesome is it that she made her last name into the .com. I wish I had a more unique name that I could do that. So Jules at fraserellis.com. She's a coach who runs people through this like the actual looking back and forth. I was just playing, and but because of my positive experience with her is what made me think, wouldn't it be fun to play with this idea? I also love the Sedona method. If you don't know anything about the Sedona method, I highly recommend that you at least check it out if that is inspirational to you. That's actually at sedona.com, which I was thinking, how cool is it that the city of Sedona didn't get sedona.com? The Sedona method got it. That didn't make any sense to me, but they're that good. They have a series of set questions that help you release on certain emotions of things. Even just listening to him speak is so soothing, and there's tons of resources on YouTube. They have like an official YouTube channel. The website has free things. So if you haven't heard of it, it is very interesting. Mike Dooley, it was my very first experience. I did the 21-day Change One Thing adventure. It was interesting. I think he has a lot of free resources as well. And Cathy Heller's podcast called the Cathy Heller Podcast is also free, and she has some really good things, I think, that resonate with me. She definitely follows Abraham Hicks. She was at the recent workshop that was held, one of them, the ones in California. So a lot of that is in line. She's also very exuberant. It might feel a bit too much. You get to decide. Yeah, I've definitely appreciated some of the classes that I have been taking lately, even just journaling prompts, things like that. And those are so easy to find anywhere. If sometimes what I like though is that they have questions that we sometimes get bogged down. Sometimes it's nice to have a question of, if I couldn't fail, what would I try today? Or, if, I don't know, all the different ones, but there are some really good ones. If you want a list of some journaling prompts, message me personally and I can send you out at least 4 or 5 that I find really good. And the Miracle Morning, that's another one that I did a couple of years ago. I'm going to be hard pressed to come up with the name what his name is, but The Miracle Morning by the guy who wrote that. It's really good because the book itself is so simplistic. Honestly, I wouldn't buy the book. I would just get whatever the overview is. But it's basically starting with about 5 minutes on each thing, like some kind of meditation. Hal Elrod, thank you, Soumya. Meditation, a bit of a reading, a visualization. And the thing is that you can't say, I don't have time. It's not an excuse. In fact, once I did the 1 minute of each version, it wasn't necessarily satisfying, but I did feel that I was shifted from even just taking the 6 or 7 minutes that was. And then ideally, if you did 5 minutes on each activity and was about half an hour of your day. And I'm a bit of a hog when it comes to meditation. I'd rather do half an hour or 45 minutes. So I get to choose, but it is, I think, great, as Marina was talking about, to have the consistent morning practice. of something, just pick something, even if it's a couple of minutes on each thing to make that time, make yourself a priority. I mean, why wouldn't you? If you would do it for someone else, why not you? So thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate all of you, and it was lovely to share your energy today. Thank you so much, and hope to see you soon.
Mhm.